What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of AOS Trash Pandas. I'm your host, Rob, and with me, as usual, is my co-host, Carson. How's it going, Carson?
Up.
I know, totally. Anyway, have you seen the rumor engine this week?
App.
God dang it. I don't get it.
I've broken him. Excellent.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, I did see the rumor engine.
It was very easy to do, by the way.
It is, and it's very entertaining every time.
Excellent.
This looks like a Sylvaneth bug of some kind.
It really does. It really does. That's what I was going to say, too.
Yeah.
Sylvaneth.
However,
yep.
This may be a spoiler for the meat of this episode, but
It might be. It might be.
who knows if this is actually a Sylvaneth bug based on what we're expecting.
That's true.
Right.
We have a lot of rumors to go over. But I don't know. I'm still going to say Sylvaneth. I think that's still my number one guesso. Looks cool. I actually really like this kind of rumor engine, where it's like it definitely gets my imagination going, but it doesn't really tell us anything, so it leaves plenty of room to kind of speculate. So
Yeah, absolutely. This could be just like something on the base of something else too.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, actually, that's what I was thinking it probably is, but I didn't think about that it could be like like on the model. But yeah, I guess if it's cut out a certain way, but it looks like a root,
Yeah.
on the ground, and
Yeah.
this is crawling on it. Do they ever
This
do
is,
terrain? Like, I always feel like I wonder about this. Have they ever put terrain in the rumor engine before?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
I saw someone say on Reddit that this could be a Primaris giganticus beetle on the base of a new Primaris lieutenant, perhaps.
Yep. That's true. It could be those things. What up, everyone? Apparently, I've been here a while. I'm assuming that means you've been a Skald for a while. You've been a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Carson told me that is Pat. But
Yeah.
usually his thing says Pat the Rat. So it could be another account, or it could just be
because I went to his channel when I clicked on that, and it did say Pat the Rat. But
Oh, okay.
maybe YouTube chat's doing this weird thing where, because I see Sigmar Scotty says at Sigmar Scotty now, and if that's just like his YouTube username,
Oh, maybe.
then maybe that's what's going on.
Weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so before we get into these delicious, like, I'm so excited for these rumors, but real quick, a couple of things. Did you see like the people, the article showing the different ways people painted the heroes from? Holy smoke! Some of them are absolutely incredible.
Some of them are. The thing that actually surprised me was not to dog on anyone, but like the massive gap.
Dude, it's
of painting
crazy that you
skills.
said that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. There's like one or two where I'm like, this is great and all, but why on earth? Why on earth is it on here? Like, I don't get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like some of them are just like if you cut it out from like a comic book or like a art illustration of some kind,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know the difference because the shading and like shadowing is so good. But
yeah.
and then some of them are like you'd expect probably just to see it like as you're scrolling on Reddit, just some random thing that someone posted, right?
Yeah. Or someone's child even just yeah. Well, anyway, so especially what's his name? The first guy. I forget the knight, the Bretonnian looking guy. Oh, Edmark Valoran, the Manticore Knight. This first one is like incredible. I'm like, well, clearly this is going to be the best one. And then the next one, it's like, God dang, that is so cool. Like,
Yeah, with like the magma
yeah,
effect and stuff like
yeah. And like, I think I like the first one a little bit more, even though it's vanilla in terms of style, just because the quality is so good on it. But then, and then the next one's fine. It's like gritty and stuff like that. It's really cool, right? But then and then the next one is whatever. But then the final one might be the actual best one because it looks like you said, like it looks like a painting or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one's my favorite. I love the shines, like the little like sparkles or whatever on the axe and stuff. I don't know which one is my favorite among. Actually, I think my favorite is either the molten lava one or the last one. Actually,
The last one is really nice. I'm a sucker for purple as well.
me too. Yeah, for sure. But like,
And that gold
honestly,
is
just dismissing. I mean, I guess part of it is like the first one too. The major downside is that it is the vanilla paint scheme. But like I don't know, like this thing is so awesome. Anyway, I'll stop gushing about it. And then the first dwarf is really cool. I won't go into. I'll try not to pick out the ones that I think are particularly, I think people might be able to figure it out on their own. But yeah, those ones are fine. And noticeably, you can kind of tell which ones are maybe more popular. This one's quite good, of Bren. But the wizard with the water wizard or whatever, like, man, there's such a variety and they're all so awesome. Like this first one I thought was definitely going to be the best one. But this one too, even though it's the vanilla paint scheme, it has like the shine on it, and like the dress has got little bits of like, dirt and stuff near the bottom. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure which one I like the most. Sucker for purple as well. Anyway, it's on there. Like there's a bunch of cool ones. I just thought I'd bring it up. I just thought I like to see that kind of thing. It gets my sort of creative juices flowing a bit. And then they also did announce, and they talked about this Path to Glory book that's coming out, and how you can make your own like rules for terrain. And so they made this custom. Did you see this terrain piece? It's like an amalgamation of the Gnarlmaw and the Chaos Nexus thing. And so you're going to be able to take them and make your own rules for it, which is just so sick. And they did like an amazing conversion on there. So I don't know. I just thought that was cool. I like Path to Glory and blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of it. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Did you pre-order the Darkwater box?
I pre-ordered it as soon as they just said we're coming out with Warhammer Quest. Yeah, I was just like, I want it. And then Arthur was like, "Did you?" I was like, "You have me down for the pre-order, right?" Like as soon as they showed it on Sunday, and he's like, "Did you want that?" And I'm like, "Yes." Like I thought I was perfectly clear when I said, I wanted to know how much the vampire box was going to be, but Darkwater, I said, it doesn't matter. Like, just, bill me, basically. Like, not that I don't want to know, but like, I was just like, this has got to happen, man. Like, I just love those kinds of board games. I've been following the rules that they've been showing along the way, and they seem really cool. I did like the puzzle piece boards where you can like build your own board, and so it's different every time. But this new system with the book is just so much better, where you're just going to be like flip open and then you're playing. That was kind of one of the problems with Curse City in particular, I thought, was that there was like, it's like just to get set up, you're talking like half an hour probably, like unless you're really organized and have done it before. So yeah, I definitely did. I'm very excited. And I'm not even a Nurgle guy, but I just love those kinds of story board game experiences. So hopefully we can play it on the channel. Yeah. Also, before I forget, because we always forget, we always remember at the very last minute, if you guys enjoy this kind of thing, please consider subscribing, giving it a thumbs up. It'll help more people find the channel, and it'll also help. Like, if you do enjoy content of not only this YouTube channel, but any YouTube channel, if you give it a like and you comment and do stuff like that, it's more likely for YouTube to send you further videos. So, like a public service announcement / actually promoting our own channel, which is, rare. But I I did accomplish it this week. The other thing was, I've been working on the interview videos, and so they're coming out. I think yours came out today, but I'm not sure.
I think so. Let's go see.
If you're a member, they're already on there. You can like just watch them. But I'm kind of slowly releasing them, and then the Spearhead videos are going to start coming out soon as well. So yeah, nice. Oh man, Pat's in the sky right now. Thank you for joining us. 30,000 feet in the air or whatever. So, okay. Is that everything?
I have one more thing that I'm going to plug.
Good. Please.
Team Canada is still doing their fundraiser on Ko-fi, just for our like actual team ticket costs. We're 96% of the way to our goal.
Wow.
Actually getting...
That's awesome.
Basically just the team ticket, but we won't stop accepting money at that point because there's still dice. But yeah, we're really, really close to getting to that goal. So if you're interested in some of those Team Canada Sorry dice, which are going to be available probably starting in January, go check it out. Nice. Anyone that donates $25 Canadian or more will receive a set of 10 Sorry dice, and we will work to get them to you via people in your community, so like tournaments and whatnot. And yeah, go check it out.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Link is in the chat right now. We did show them the dice previously. They look really cool, and yeah, excited to see it. Awesome. Okay, now for the main topic. We've got a bunch of rumors that went up on Discord. Shout outs to Beefy. I'm sure he didn't make this, but like, he put it in the Discord, and I appreciate it. So rumor leak mega thread. Anyone who's been following Age of Sigmar rumor mill will know that there are a few people out in the ether who have been sharing their often very blurry visions of the future. Rather than having a new post every time something gets shared on TGA forums, we've created this mega thread so all the rumors, leaks, and related discussions are in one place. If/when the rumor mill calms down, we will go back to normal. But until then, all posts discussing rumors that aren't this post will be removed. But it is nice to have kind of an amalgamated sort of section for it. So thought we'd just go through some of these because they're pretty exciting. So here are all the current rumors. The big three after Maggotkin. Magnificent release, Bull and White Fang's rumors fully confirmed. Ogres, unique tyrant, monster, unique butcher, war machine, unique man-eater, female war master, new tyrant, new butchers, new hunters with sabers, new mournfangs, new gluttons, new iron guts, and more fatty things. So that's kind of cool. This is all from the other one. So I don't remember hearing about the unique tyrant monster.
I think that one was in there.
Okay.
It might have been phrased a little bit differently. Also, I just want to say thanks to a very generous donation from Dylan Terrio, who is in the chat right now.
Nice.
We have reached 100% of our goal.
Whoa! Heck yeah! So, thank you, Dylan.
Yay. Thank you.
That's so nice.
Yeah, he follows me everywhere I go and DMs me every hour. Actually,
okay,
that's great. Yeah, he's a big weirdo.
Okay,
he was number one in the ITC last year, but that's just because of luck, of course.
Obviously, yep.
Anyway, continuing on with the rumor stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, RAP my wallet indeed. My God. With the new ogre stuff, it's definitely one of everything, probably multiple things. I got a lot of painting ahead of me for sure, but ogres have always been my happy place paint-wise.
Yep,
because it's nice that there's just like a huge chunky body that you can just do skin tones on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel totally fine doing assembly lines for that sort of thing. It's just like really easy, and because they're so big, it's like easy to do the brush strokes on. So, yeah.
Well, if you do something enough, like I was painting a little bit of Iron Jaws, doing that synthwave paint style, which I haven't like totally nailed down yet. It's a lot more stressful and it takes a lot more time. But even though clan rats are quite boring, and like you're doing them 20 at a time, probably, definitely doing assembly line stuff. It's still just kind of easy and chill, and I could just kind of do my thing because it's something I've done enough times. Thank you. Michael Sabetti, $5. He says pasta over meat. Pasta is greater than meat.
That is false, but thanks for the $5.
I'll thank you. But I'll say, why not both? You can have meat in your pasta. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can have tortellini, ravioli.
Yeah. The old traditional meat spaghetti, which sounds kind of gross when I say it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, meat. Is the spaghetti meat?
Yeah.
Is it?
Duh. Yeah, it's made out of like a kind of jerky, I thought.
Is that a Johnson family special, or is that?
Yeah.
All right. Just clarifying.
What are you, an idiot?
It's no seasoning.
Yeah.
Meat strands and one whole uncooked tomato.
It's one whole uncooked onion. I'll have you know. Yes.
Good.
And a bay leaf. And
a single bay leaf is mandatory.
Yeah.
It's an aperitif.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You can eat them.
You're legally allowed to do so. That's right.
Yeah. Good times. Not having much fun with my 40 Hobgrots paint assembly line. Yep. Why are you doing them 40 at a time, though, my friend? Definitely should do 20 and then just, by God, something else. And I mean, jerky spaghetti.
I painted my Hobgrots pretty quick. Both of them were in like a fury, like immediately after
panicking. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
And we were like
exactly. Yeah. So, but it's not like
20 in a week. And I think they turned out pretty well.
I'll be the judge of that. No, they're fine. Actually, someone was asking in a video what models they were. They're like, what are those Noblar proxies that you're using? And I was like, Hobgrot Slitas,
Yeah.
But you painted them red, so anyway, it threw people off. Yeah. Get her done and never do it again. Yeah, that's fair. That sounds pretty awful.
Yeah, I've never actually paid for a Hobgrot Slita.
That's true.
I've gotten 40 from Alex, and both were for free.
Yeah.
Or rather, in exchange for driving out to his place, which is about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the time of day, and playing a game with him.
Oh.
Because he has so many games of Dominion, or so many boxes of Dominion, that he's just like, just take it. Please take it.
Yeah.
He's God.
Didn't I give you the first 20?
I think you gave them on. Did you give me the first 20?
I thought so. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Okay, the second one was from Alex for free then.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I want them too. Like, I kind of wanted them I forget what I was going to do with them. I think I was going to make them into regular goblins. Anyway, and then Alex ended up giving me 20 as well. So shout outs to Alex.
So by proxy, Alex has given me 40. Then.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. No matter which way you slice it then. Yeah. Anyway, so we've kind of already talked about the ogres, but did you want to expand on it at all? Or
I mean, I'm very excited. I hope that they bring them to the scale of Gorgers. Just so that they're like bigger and chunkier 50mm bases.
Yeah, like because rat ogres now are like bigger as well.
Yeah.
So that makes
sense.
And
then you have, maybe gluttons they go to 5-man units that go to 10, and then iron guts are maybe 3 to 6 or something like that. But I'd like to see iron guts and gluttons like differentiated a bit more so than just their weapons like hittier or like more rend but less volume, I guess. Or even if that's the case, like it would be nice to like separate the silhouette a little bit more.
Yeah, because they're ogres, gluttons versus iron guts are definitely in that category of like Stormcast and Fire Slayers, where unless you're playing the army, you have no idea, what's what. And that made a lot of sense back in like the fantasy days where it's like about equipping things with different things and whatnot. But in this day and age, it definitely feels like they're going to probably hopefully get a little bit more interesting with it, because it definitely says new gluttons, new iron guts. They're two separate things. It says more fatty things. I'm really curious about the unique tyrant monster.
Me too. I'm curious, like, the only thing that we've been given any sort of specifics on, I think, is the unique man-eater, which is the one that had like the half artillery body.
Yeah, right.
Talked about last week or the week before. And then one interesting thing is that this description says new hunters parentheses with sabers, whereas the original one that we got said that frost sabers were gone. So there's a discrepancy there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe, I mean,
possibly
I'm inclined to believe the original like White Fang approved rumor more than something that someone's, we're kind of like one or two steps removed on the telephone game copy and paste kind of deal. So but I hope that there are like hunters with sabers make sense too. Like a pack of 3.
Yeah, it's like a Wildercorp Hunters sort of thing.
Yeah, or like I was even thinking about like, the new Space Wolf guys where they're like, they've got dogs with them. They're like, whatever. Like I think it's like a 3-man elite sort of squad and they've got wolves with them. Like something like that would make sense to me, where it's like 3 hunters and they've got them like on a chain. So they're like, the idea is they're using them like bloodhounds or something like that. You know what I mean? And they've all got crossbows or something. That would be kind of cool. But also like new Mournfangs is interesting. Why did Alex of all people have so many Dominion box sets? It was like a funny thing for his bachelor party. I don't know. He just kept buying them because they were next to nothing. And then for his bachelor party, we gave him his present in a Dominion box, and that was my Dominion box. Yeah.
The exacerbation on his face was just priceless before he opened it and realized what was actually inside.
Well, I think he thought that it was actual, like it was an actual Dominion box, and then I think he was partially like disappointed. Like I put a bunch of old sprues in there too, and then he wanted to keep them, and I was like, well, no, like those were just to, mess with you, because I forget. I think we got him like a gift certificate or something like that. But anyway,
it was right before all the like big pigs and stuff came out.
Right.
So basically, a gift certificate to buy those things.
To buy Iron Jaws. That's right. Yeah. I remember now. You made it. Not James from Alaska.
Well, we've narrowed it down by 1.
Have we? It could be just like no, I'm not James. Totally not James.
100%.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome, Litificus. So, okay. I guess that's pretty much all we can talk about. What is Kazalid Holds?
Kazalid Holds is like...
Is that like...
It's like the new soup?
Dwarves
book, essentially.
Oh, shit.
So instead of... Yeah, well, I mean, we can just read it out loud. It says 12 new kits, more for Dispossessed than for Fire Slayers, who will have a new Magmadroth, which is weird. I thought the Magmadroth seems fine. Some Fire Slayers kits leaving the range, which is the Rune Master, Doomseeker, Grimwrath, Volkite Berserkers, and then the Terrain and Spells, which I also found weird.
That's weird.
Golem are coming. Not sure what that is. No dual kits, Fire Slayers, Dispossessed. 4 Ancestor Gods, Grimnir, Grungni, Valaya, and Gazul.
I am Gazulu.
No,
That's a reference, by the way, to The Exorcist Part 3.
Caslid Holds will be the last home of the edition. So there's a couple interesting things in this, which
That's
is
kind of
number
weird.
one that comes to mind is that on the GW like spoiler that we were given, the order that it was showed to us was Nurgle, Fireslayers, Ogres, OBR.
Right.
And if this is saying that Caslid Holds will be the last home of the edition, that breaks that order, and also, yeah, it's kind of weird that they would be like removing all this stuff. I wonder what the source of this is. Oops.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about dwarves, so man, Dan's gonna lose his freaking mind if this is true.
Yeah,
but
to me, this reads less of like they're getting a bunch of new stuff, and more like they're just like combining a whole bunch of things. And probably Cities of Sigmar is going to be losing a bunch of the. It literally says down there, Dwarden and Elves will still be usable in new Cities of Sigmar tome. Maybe supplement Battledom. Okay, weird.
That is weird. I mean, yeah, this is strange. I mean, it's possible too that like once this leaked, then they changed things, or maybe, they just changed things at any point. But Caslid Holds is such a specific name for it. Like,
yeah,
this seems very possible to me. But, I don't know. I mean, I've never been much of a dwarf guy myself. I know you're not either. But it does feel weird that there aren't any dwarves, like, proper in AOS. Like, the closest thing we have is Fire Slayers, which is just, like, some stuff from, like, a sub-faction from the old world. Like, we've got so many elf factions, right? And granted, elves tend to be a little more popular anyway, but like we've got so many orcs, we've got so many elves. It just feels like we should have a proper dwarf release, like a proper big thing of them. So I'm really happy about this. I do think the Magma Droth is cool, but I think like Alex was complaining because it's so monopose, like, so he got out the the heat gun and he reposed everything. Most people aren't going to do that, and I do think it'll like probably sell a lot better if they remake it. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely take all this with a grain of salt.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, these are just rumors. Yeah,
absolutely. Because this is the first thing that I've seen that, I mean, I guess when we were talking about the remember when all those like Nurgle rumors came, and we're like, this seems like someone's wish list, and then it all came true, and we're like, oh, okay. Like,
because like they, I remember, and that was on the White Fang leak thing. And yes, Gabagool. The White Fang approved one or whatever it was. Yeah. But like when they said new Blight Kings, I was just like, those things are brand new. That feels like a weird choice. And then, we're getting new ones, Yeah, a lot of it did, but so I don't know. I just keep thinking about how DJ Caslid Holds is like, like it's such a specific name,
it would be a weird thing to make up. Maybe there might be some like lore tidbit somewhere that mentions Caslid specifically, and there's a reason why.
Right. Well, we also heard about Chaos Dwarves ahead of time, and we didn't know the name of it. And we were like, what are they going to be? Hammers of, Hashut, and we came up with all these ideas.
We knew it would be Hashut.
Okay. Exactly, right? And I said it'll probably be, alliteration because they tend to go for that. But like, we didn't even know Hellsmiths, of Hashut. So like
that's true. Hellsmiths is like a describer though, instead of like a specific
I know,
name.
but like this is like Kazalid holds. It's so specific. Like I don't know. I believe it. I'm not saying everything about it is going to be true, but also GW can just change stuff so that like some of it isn't right, and throw people off the scent kind of deal. But I don't know. I believe it. There's some other stuff on here too that I'm not as sure about, obviously. So next up, we've got Cities of Sigmar Cog Forts. 6 War Scrolls, troop carrier for 3 units, question mark, bigger than Mega Gargant, which is crazy. Really crazy. Free Guild Gargant, which is kind of fun. 2 model unit with weapons platform on it for ranged, named Erasmus Zon. Again, we got like such a strangely specific thing. Mage on Chimera, which I'm excited for. Because it was like, I hope that it's also like a non-named character. Because we've got Talia, again, another named character on a Manticore, right? And it's like, come on, guys. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I hope that's true, though. Because that Manticore specifically is one of the coolest models they've ever made, in my opinion. Like, I really think that thing's beautiful. Anyway, 4 new battle mages, light, bright, amethyst, and then question mark. I'm assuming Jade, because I don't think that character will probably be available outside of Curse City, Anyway, faction terrain, which sort of makes sense. But then the weird thing here, though, is Cities of Sigmar versus Eshin Spearhead starter set. Like, we haven't seen, outside of the main editions, for any game other than like Blood Bowl, where it's just like, it's a different whole thing, right? We haven't seen combined box sets since then, So it's really weird. Like, I'm not sure. I want to believe this so badly because it's Eshin. It's my favorite, Skaven clan. But anyway, it says unique marshal with separate big cat model. I think that means he's not riding it. I think that means it's like a pet or something, but who knows. War priest with big warhammer, which is kind of dope. Gallants, they're called, and then it says parentheses arch knights, unit 10 man, 10 grenadiers. Grenadiers? How do you say that?
Grenadiers. Yeah.
Grenadiers. Okay. Versus Crixit Deathmaster, which is crazy. Like, it specifically says his name. Then generic Deathmaster, right? And I mean, it's got to be a new one too, right? Because like, they're not going to put one old character, but like, we just got a new Deathmaster. But it doesn't seem to change. Like, it doesn't seem to matter. You know what I mean? Like, we'll still get new units. Like, we've seen that. We've been getting refreshes, and like, we've got more on the way according to the ogres and different things like that. Anyway, another generic Deathmaster, 10 Night Runners, 10 Gutter Runners. At first I was like, 10 Gutter Runners? Like, they're never going to be a 10-man unit. And then I was like, oh, but they do like 2 5-man units come with this box set. Like, that's not uncommon. So that made me reconsider that. And it says Spearhead may substitute Warcry, which I don't know. That seems a little weird because they just like did like a kind of mini refresh. They kind of said like, we're coming out with more stuff for Warcry. Also, Warcry is a skirmish game. There aren't units in Warcry. There's individual models. It's like Kill Team, right? And the new Kill Team is killing it. So I don't know. That doesn't seem likely to me, but at the end of the day, as long as I get my Eshin, I don't care too much. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I do like these kinds of box sets. Like, I kind of miss these old dual box sets to a certain extent.
Yeah, we had some in. I mean, not including the starter set for this edition, but in third edition there was some just like generic ones. Like, I remember there was a Zinj versus Lumineth one. There was like a couple others that were like army versus army random boxes like that.
You got into AOS with ogres versus OBR.
Yeah, that was second edition, but yeah, it
Isn't
was.
that what I said?
Well, I said third edition.
Oh, I
So,
see.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. At the start of third, because there was, it was Fire Slayers versus Deepkin. There was Sylvaneth versus Skaven. There was a bunch, especially towards the start. And then near the end of the edition, we started losing those. We were tended to get. What was the first? But was it Slaves to Darkness? Was the very first like box set, like where
like
it was
army
like
box,
one army? Yeah,
Roma box.
yeah.
I I don't remember any before that, but that was also before I was like really into the hobby.
Fair,
So
yeah. I remember Seraphon was like number 2 or number 3, and I remember
yeah,
FEC was the last one of the edition. But all that to say, like once they started with that, we kind of just didn't see it anymore. And but apparently Spearhead is more popular than Combat Patrol. Like no one plays Combat Patrol, and friggin' everyone loves Spearhead. So I could kind of see them being like, "We're killing it in Spearhead. Let's do a box set. Let's do like an edition of Spearhead almost." You know what I mean? I can kind of see that, but yeah, just give me my Eshin, I guess. At the end of the day,
yeah. None of the details matter.
just give me Ninja Rats. Yeah, for real. Like seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Interesting thing timeline wise is like because this would be like a Spearhead starter set of some sort. We would assume that this would come out kind of in tandem with like a new GHB, which would probably be
right.
summer, like June or something like
Right.
that.
Right.
So that probably places that at that point.
Yeah,
But
that wouldn't surprise me. It'd also be like 1 year before we get an edition change of AOS. So
yeah,
it'd be like throwing us a bone, maybe. I think 3 years is too short. I really think they should switch over to 4 years. But anyway.
they won't. But yes,
I mean, I could see it though, because like they could do AOS, Horus Heresy, Old World, 40k, or switch that order up slightly, 40k and then Old World, and then you know what I mean. Like I think it would just be a great way of getting people away from getting just tired of stuff. You sold all your previous 40k and AOS armies to family friends. Now I need to begin again. I long for new plastic crack. Kazalid holds is potential dwarves soup, which gets me rock hard. Good to know. I mean, yeah, like we have a friend Dan, and he's just all about the dwarves. He's just like he has like some kind of crazy policy where he makes a new dwarf army, 2 new dwarf armies for every time he collects something that isn't dwarves. If you look at his interview is up on thing, it's just like this rant about how he hates elves, but also he talks about it in there. And it's really funny. So I mean, it's cool though. Like again, I'm not a big dwarf guy, but like I want them to be there. I want them to be in the game. I want there to be more dwarves in the game. A Freeguild Gargant would be cool, absolutely. Keep in mind it says Freeguild Gargant, not Freeguild Mega Gargant. That's a great point. That's a really good point. Although, we need new Gargants in general anyway. Or I don't know why I said we. I don't have the army. I'd like to ask everyone, in your opinion, which faction absolutely needs a refresh, excluding these new rumors for ogres and fire slayers? Excluding? I mean, at that point, I feel like we're caught up.
yeah. When it specifically for refreshes, yes, I agree.
But
Maybe Sylvaneth.
If it's expansion, that's a little different. Yeah, I guess that you make a good point, because there's a few things in Sylvaneth which are very old. They're very fantasy, like dryads and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
Zeech as well. Like there's a bunch of
Zeech. Actually, Zeech kind of needs a refresh, to be honest.
Honestly, just horrors, to be honest.
Like it's
because Matthias brought up or was it you that said that flamers were like actually quite recent sculpt, but they look so stupid.
They look so stupid, dude. They look so dumb. And like honestly, even the chariots look kind of dumb. Like I actually think that, but also I think those are from like 7th edition. Like what was it? the old world or whatever called fantasy battles. So like they're not new either, because like if you look at like Seraphon 2, like if you look at the previous Saurus warriors and Saurus knights, they look super derpy, like really really stupid, and they were actually new sculpts. They came out at the same time as, or slightly after. They were newer than the Dark Elf ones, which actually looked cool. So sometimes you just get kind of a dud sculpt, and it just needs it a little bit quicker than others. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if we're gonna resculpt Magmadroths, let's resculpt Flamers and Chariots and stuff, because they look really stupid, to be honest. Yeah, but that's a great question, though. I'm gonna have to say, oh, Zeech needs one, maybe just horrors and like Chaos Knights. Lesser demons almost everywhere need to be redone. Absolutely true, Leviticus. I love every Zeech model. They're fine, but they're really close to being... yeah. I mean, I don't know. They're just... Like, think about when you see like a Zeech symbol, art piece, right? They're just Zeechian horror, like mixture of tentacles, and like there's a lot of detail, and they're really cool. And then you look at horrors and flamers, and they just look like something that like some kid made out of Play-Doh. You know what I mean? Just, you know, like eye holes, just shove their little fingers in there. Like seriously though, you know what I mean? Like they could do a lot better.
Are just going like this and then like sticking them together and then,
exactly shoving them on there. Yeah, man. Like some of them are legitimately cool, like the Magister, but like those are all like new sculpts. The Ogroid, Thermitage, the Gaunt Summoner is amazing. The Gaunt Summoner on disc.
Kenrick Acolytes.
Kenrick Acolytes are cool. Zangor are cool, and they're not even that new, but yeah. So like. Yeah, I think Refresh Zeech is the only one who needs it, and then like Ledivicus said, all the lesser demons need it. A sculpt need refreshes, but they're, you know, we'll probably see it. It'll probably come in tandem with like 40K. But anyway, okay. Duardans and Elves will be usable in the new COS tome, which you already said. Maybe supplement Battle Tome. The others, Ossiarch, Chariot Hero, Undisclosed Hero or Single Model Unit, Ossiarch Ushabti with Longbows, Rust Stalker-esque unit. I don't know what a Rust Stalker is. These are like less... what's the word? These ones are a little bit like... They make sense. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I don't know. Ossiarch Ushabti, they're pretty vague. I don't know if any of these things are like, I could see this one being true or not true, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Sicarian, so the Rust Stalkers are a AdMech unit. I'll send you the link to them on Facebook.
Thank you. Bing.
Which is, it would be kind of interesting if this was the case, because the
Skitari guys, I like.
Yeah,
I own
these look
guys.
a lot like the Necropolis Stalkers already.
Right. Yeah.
OBR.
Yep, that's kind of true. There we go. Can everyone see that? Yeah, there we go. What up, Razor? Hey, Jason. See the Seraphon pick and had to jump on. Seen the Seraphon pick. Oh, nice. That's because I'm the Oracle Razor. Okay. Yeah, I could see that for sure. You know, I don't know. It is vague. It like we said this before, but like it could be a rumor, or what do you call it? It could be a wish list, but it could be real too. Like I don't know. We haven't heard as much, so whatever. The Sons of Behemoth, though, Gargant Matriarch. That sounds real to me. Having said that, I really hope that they take this opportunity to add new bodies to the Mega Gargants. Because they're kind of... They need some more variety. And I also hope that they, but like the weird thing is though, is like Gargant Matriarch makes sense, but like not making new mini Gargants makes no sense. That's why like this seems a little bit like maybe this is one thing that they know about and they just didn't hear about the new mini Gargants. But like if you're, I don't know, like that's the lowest hanging fruit though is new mini Gargants, you know? So
yeah, we kind of got that with the Cities of Sigmar Gargant weapons platforms or whatever, but I assume they won't be like
cross
shareable.
Yeah, I hope they are. Although, like, just having more giants in the game in general would be kind of cool. Like back in the old fantasy days, like people could just take giants. Like you could just take a giant, you know, and different monsters and stuff like that. So I would like to see more of that. And then Daughters of Cain. Some love. Actually, they kind of need a refresh too. A lot of the sisters and stuff like that are wicked old. The Chariot's old. Like there's a lot of really old stuff from that.
Yeah.
And they're kind of expensive to collect for some reason too, because of it, it seems like. But some love more Crone Heralds and anticipating Malarian's Elves. Daughters of Cain kits with dual customization Morathi or Crethusa followers. No current kits will be discontinued or refreshed. That seems weird.
That does seem weird. Some of them are pretty old, like you were saying.
Yep.
Especially the avatars, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the avatars, because they come in the chariot kit, the whatever it's called, Blood Shrine or whatever. I don't know. Sylvaneth single hero Grove Guardian Gardener. This sounds real to me. You know, I can believe this for sure. And they, you know, Sylvaneth did get a new like refresh not that long ago in 3rd edition. So it wouldn't surprise me too much if there wasn't like a ton of love, right? Zeech Silver Tower Terrain. That's very low hanging to me, and I can definitely believe that. Like, you know, like we've had Silver Tower since 1st edition. Like that was like the board game, the Warhammer Quest board game. And so them not having it before now is kind of funny. Lumineth is Phoenix Guard Reloaded, very old White Fang Hint, and Hoth, or however you pronounce that, mentioned. I don't know what Hoth is. So
Hoth is the god of knowledge, learning, and wisdom in the Elven pantheon.
Oh.
And is the divine patron of elven wizards and scholars. Yeah.
Okay.
In the old world.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, don't mind that. Slanesh 1 foot hero. That sounds right. Some people were complaining about this, but Slanesh got 2 refreshes like back to back. So would have been surprised if they got a whole lot else, to be honest. Although they do have some kits that are wicked old too, Demonettes, the Chariots, stuff like that. Likely end of edition campaign miniatures, Korgus Kull Ascended, which sounds right, and it sounds freaking awesome, to be honest. He's been in like he's like the original bad guy character from AOS 1, like early days, like the novels, everything. He was in there, right? I think he was in the original box set for Age of Sigmar. And then maybe Cogforts for all Grand Alliance / factions. What does that mean? Like how?
I assume just like big siege tower or like big machine thing for each Grand Alliance, but that weird. Seems weird.
Yeah.
And also it seems like the least certain of like anything on here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Except for no current rumors for Seraphon. And
true.
We did get a pretty big, sort of thing for them. So yeah, wouldn't be surprising if we get too much. Although I do suspect we'll get at least some Saurus Guard at some point. But like the weird thing is it's like they're talking about all this stuff that's coming, at the end of the edition, which is like a year and a half away. We're only like halfway through it. But not having rumors for Seraphon's a little confusing because, like, we're gonna get something for everything, right? Yeah, I don't know. And there's only like what 5 silver towers left. I didn't know that actually. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, they're supposed to be crazy big. I forgot about that. Yeah, that is kind of weird then. But
if anyone could manipulate the shape.
That's true. It could just be like part of it. You know what I mean? Like you're not actually playing with Nagash when you play. You're playing with like an avatar of Nagash, so it could be like a, it could be like the like one of those, like you got an aircraft carrier. The aircraft carrier is the silver tower, right? And then you've got a transport plane. It takes the troops down, onto to the ground, right? So that's like the silver tower is the aircraft carrier, and then the terrain piece is like the little like transport thing, right? Because that's mostly what they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything too interesting on here. But other than that,
yeah. Not James from Alaska says, you guys play a lot more than I do. Is it possible to play an aggressive Tzeentch list, sort of like Croak Bomb, but slower? Or is it still castle for 5 turns, slowly win with dumb magic? You can do a Zangor heavy build, which works fairly well. You can be giving your Zangor run and charge. You can be buffing them up with your Sigil of Tzeentch. And sending them in, they do quite a bit of damage. And then, of course, if you take the teleport spell lore, you can always teleport them somewhere on the battle and then automatically charge them with Destiny dice. So it's a really good delivery method, too.
Yeah.
And then with the Ogre Thaumaturs, the Scourge of Garan one, that's actually a really interesting, like, offensive and defensive piece, because what the rule is that he can teleport to, it's like within an inch of any like mortal unit that's in combat with something in Tzeentch, and count as having charged when he did so, which means you could just like teleport him just outside of your opponent's range, and then when your opponent kills whatever mortal unit they got in combat with, your Thaumatur steps forward and just slaps them. So
right.
Pretty cool too. So yeah, I think Zangor would probably be the thing to explore for like an aggressive Tzeentch list.
Yeah. And Scotty asked, typically how long does an edition of AOS last? And Ludivicus answered already, but I will just expand on that. Like everything lasts for 3 years. So it's like 40K is every 3 years. There's a new edition. What's it called? The Horus Heresy, AOS, it's all every 3 years, including like even stuff like Kill Team, which comes like, it's not like a major summer release, but it's like it's a pretty, you know what I mean? Like they get new editions every 3 years as well. And it's like, but what's funny too is, Scotty, is like, you're like a new one already? Didn't we just start AOS 4? That was like over a year ago, And that's kind of why I was going like, man, if they just switched to 4 years for everything, it'd be so great. They're not going to, I know, but like, it'd be better for everyone. Like, but anyway.
Yeah, it'll be interesting going into 5th edition because 3rd edition to 4th edition, there was like a very fundamental core change of like how they resolve abilities and, just how the game plays essentially.
Yeah.
And because in 3rd edition you had like tons of really weird rules interactions and like duplicated rules that were functionally doing the same thing but were written in different ways, and so it was just kind of a nightmare to like navigate.
For sure.
Whereas now everything's pretty standardized.
Well, and we hadn't had a reset until 4th edition since 1st edition, which is quite long. We had some really major changes, like when they added command abilities in 2nd edition, all this stuff, but we were still using old battle tomes until 4th edition hit, and then we got a major reset. We got indexes, all this stuff. It was really crazy. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I suspect the transition from 4th edition to 5th edition is going to be more like a GHB, and also just have like accompanying lore beats than it was from 3rd to 4th. So
right.
I think
And
if you think of it that way, it's like less of a big deal.
that's true.
Just because
That's
you
true.
don't like the core rules are almost always free, and if they're not, then something wrong has happened. I think.
I mean, the War Scrolls used to be always free too.
I know, which is very silly that they are
That's the
not now.
worst change they ever made to the
Yeah,
game. Yeah.
yeah. We've gone down that road
I
and
know, but I'm
talked
still
about that a
bitter,
million
Carson.
times.
I'm still so bitter.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, good.
Me too.
Good.
As someone who has access to everything, I'm
Yeah.
bitter.
Yeah.
It's just annoying that like I don't know when I'm because I play competitive Age of Sigmar. Whenever I'm playing against someone and it's extremely clear they just have no clue what anything of mine does, which doesn't really happen because I'm still using an index book.
Right.
It doesn't feel good to like beat them because they didn't know something,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like knowledge checking someone is the worst way to play the game.
It's true. And you can only explain so much. And also, like before, when everyone had, there was a free app and free downloads on the website and everything like that, you could just be like, you know, you could, if you didn't know the thing, you could just be like, oh, like, you know, what does that unit do? And you could just be like, they're called this on the app, and then you can just read it for yourself, you know? And yeah, it was so great. Also, like, it sold so many models. I'm sorry, we are going down that path again, but like it got me into so many armies where I was just like, what is this? What does this do? What is this War Scroll? I'm like, man, that model's cool as shit, you know? Yeah. Anyway. Smells like copyrights, BD and marketing. I think it's more like a shareholder thing why they do it every 3 years. It's just like they can expect major upticks in sales, particularly for 40K every 3 years. And then they can, it's something like, you know, like video game companies will do it too, where it's like, well, we've got our year end is in, you know, like for Capcom, it's like February. And so they'll be like, you know, we've got this coming up and that, and we're expecting this many sales. And yeah, unfortunately it's the company is a lot less creative. It's a lot less about the fun and making cool things. But they make so much money. It's inevitable, you know, it is what it is. So,
yeah. This is just like a criticism of capitalism and publicly traded companies in general, I guess. But I really wish they were not a publicly traded company.
Yep.
Just because, like, eventually it will not be worth it anymore.
Yep.
Like it has to happen, unfortunately.
Wait, what won't be worth what?
Warhammer won't be worth what they're selling it for anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like, because the unfortunate thing is with a publicly traded company, like it has to keep getting more and more profit every year, and eventually that comes from just making whatever you're buying worse.
Yep.
So
that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, they have managed to stave off a lot of things. Like they still have the best customer service I've probably ever encountered. Like
the interesting thing is that GW used to be like so heinously bad at like interacting with their customers.
Yeah.
That by slowly getting better and better, they've been making more money and being rewarded for it, I think.
Yep.
But eventually it's going to like peak, I think.
And
then have to go back down.
It's true. I mean, but like every now and again, there's like a kind of reset that happens, especially for GW. Like when that CEO was, I don't remember his name and it doesn't matter, but like there was one of their CEOs during AOS 1, and he's probably responsible for a lot of the stuff that we kind of dislike. There's 4 pillars to the hobby, as they say. There's collecting, there's painting, there's playing, and what was the other one? Oh, building. Actually, building was one of them. That's the one I always forget about because like I like building stuff, but I don't think about it as like a pillar of the hobby, so whatever. Anyway, and he wanted to make Games Workshop all about the collecting. He wanted to make it just to be like you buy this box of unassembled miniatures and then you just hoard stuff, which is just crazy. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, it works for cards because you don't have to do anything. It works for comics because you just put it in the thing and you wrap it up and you don't ever need to look at it again. But like, just like raw plastic is absolutely completely unhinged. Anyway, but yeah, it was, and then like the other guy took over. He was booted out. The other guy took over, and he's the guy who introduced start collecting sets and like a lot of the stuff that we really like now. He was responsible for that. But yeah, I think you're right. It's sad, but yeah.
The sad future of any publicly traded company, I think, is that. But we can hope that it's not going to be for a very long time.
Yeah.
And enjoy it while it lasts.
Exactly. And I mean, like, that's the great thing though about models. Like, like
you have
like,
it forever.
Well, like, and like, exactly. And like the rules too. Like, if you keep the rules, they last forever. Like we could have an apocalypse and we could still play this game with like flashlights and dice and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like, no, you're not being the Debbie Downer at all. We're kind of being the Debbie Downers, to be honest.
Yes.
This is mostly on
me. Specifically, I guess.
Yeah. No, I was thinking me because I was like, they got rid of the War Scrolls. Like, what were they thinking? It was just...
Oh, I see.
It makes them less money. Like, that and, like, the way that they went with the battle tomes, like, and, like, it's making everyone bitter. And now, like, the most easygoing, nicest people in the world who are just before were just like, I'll just buy it, and then you know what I mean? I'll give away that, and I'll give the code to it. Those people have been embittered by Games Workshop. So now I think this has got to be the edition with the worst selling battle tomes because of the changes they made. Like they are hurting themselves, and so like my hope. I agree with you. I do think that things have to get worse before they can get better. But like what I'm hoping for though is like a Capcom as opposed to a Ubisoft. You know what I mean? Capcom got dumb and then they're like they stumbled upon a couple of good things and they're like, "Oh wow, goodwill means more money? That's so cool." Like Street Fighter V was like one of the low points of all time. There was no arcade, there was no story mode at all. They wanted to like turn it into like League of Legends and that kind of thing, and everyone hated it. Street Fighter 6 though, complete opposite. It's selling like gangbusters. It's been amazing. You know what I mean? So you can get better without jumping the shark. You know what I mean? Whereas like Ubisoft is being bought by Tencent and like, you know what I mean? Like they're like lying to their shareholders and it's really, really crazy and terrible. You know what I mean? And like they seem, maybe they're past the point of no return, but like that doesn't have to be the way for Games Workshop or James Workshop. That crazy guy you see around Christmas time. But like, I don't know. I don't think it will, to be honest, just because they're kind of a weird, quirky, old fashioned kind of company. So I'm hopeful that, that even though I do see that kind of going that way as well, I think that they'll probably be better at adjusting as they go. But yeah.
Yeah. I also get the impression that like the quote unquote business people at Games Workshop are more of like the BA old guard, which understand that treating customers right is like in the long term is more worth it.
I mean,
as opposed to like these, I guess my jaded view of things is like probably from like a tech company perspective where you have people that just kind of walk in and completely ruin a product for a quick buck, essentially. I don't think that's like even really possible for Warhammer.
I don't think so either, but and I don't think that they change quickly enough, and they also have to like plan stuff out, I agree. I think that they can make adjustments on the fly. Like back in AOS 1 days, like not to be nostalgic or whatever, but like AOS 1 was a funny time, I miss a lot of AOS 1. Like there was so much like quirky fun in there. But putting that aside, I remember when all we were getting was Stormcast. It was just like Stormcast. And everyone was going, stop. Like they're not Space Marines. this isn't working for anyone. And, that ship, it's very heavy. And so it takes a long time to kind of turn it. But they clearly were like, oh, and they quickly turned the wheel, even though it took a long time to kind of, make those adjustments. So who knows? But then again, we still keep getting Stormcast in every new starter set. So,
it's definitely slowed down though.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, I'm saying, like, man, at some point, I really hope they try not Stormcast in a starter edition.
Yeah.
But
fingers crossed that's going to be 5th edition. That would be great. 5th edition
would be so sick. Like, even if it's Lumineth, even if it's freaking Lumineth, it's Tyrion and more Lumineth. Even if it's that, like, I think it would sell way better. But anyway. But if low battle tome sales are fueling the increase in models, keep not buying battle tomes, more models. But if low battle tome sales are fueling the increase... Wait, did I miss a bunch of stuff?
He's saying that if people not buying battle tomes as much is causing them to just buy more models instead, then
that might...
Yeah.
But the thing is, though...
It still results in a net loss.
It not only that, but then they're looking at going back to the Warhammer Fantasy Battles problem, whereas people own everything. They own the army. And you know what I mean? And then if they don't buy the battle tomes, then eventually they just stop buying. It's just like, oh, I get the rules from the internet, and then I just play the game. And I play it for free,
I've said this 7 million times.
Okay.
But if you charge me $10 a month for access to all of the rules, you're going to get my $10 a month for the next 20 years.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Which is more money than they could ever earn on, like, physical battle tome sales, I think.
Yep. Yeah, and they could even incorporate that. Like, they could have 2 separate things. They could have, like, a monthly charge for that. Or it could be like, let's say it's $10 a month for all the rules, right? And then it's like, but if you have Warhammer Plus, and your Warhammer Plus is like whatever it is, like, let's say Warhammer Plus is $10 a month. I don't remember what it is. I think it's a little more than that. But you could get like, well, Warhammer plus all the rules for like $18. So it's like only $2 off. You know what I mean? You're still just kind of going, yeah, totally. Like, I'll do that. So yeah.
Give me a reason to forget about a subscription, and I'll keep it live, kind of thing.
I was just thinking, was it today or yesterday? I can't remember because the days are bleeding together. But I was just like, I need to go through my subscriptions again, and I did that a while ago, and I got rid of a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I need to do that again.
Yeah, there's plenty of people out there that like, for companies that they really enjoy supporting.
Yeah.
Even if they're not actively using whatever that subscription is, we'll just keep it going.
Yep.
Just to keep supporting the company, right?
Yep. I mean, that's really what Twitch is. You know what I mean? Like, I there's a streamer that I really enjoy, and I have had no time lately. And I signed on just to subscribe to his channel again because I saw that it had expired. You know what I mean? And he's like, how you been, or whatever. I know you've been busy or whatever. I'm like, yeah, man, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. I just signed in to subscribe to his thing, even though I haven't been able to interact lately, just because I like his thing, So yeah, that's absolutely true. Goodwill is so important. I've heard you talk about that before, Carson, and it would be just like you said, I will do it now. I remember saying previously that I wouldn't. Yeah. Just make it a Warhammer Plus and give us all for a fee. Yeah. Like, if they had, like, let's say it was exclusively tied to Warhammer Plus, right? Like, even as Canadians, we would just like figure out a way of getting...
Yeah, I'd find a way.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even
Sign
if it was tied to that. Yeah, exactly. Sign through a VPN, I've got a bunch of family down there. We'll work something out, But Yeah, yeah. It's we'll figure it out.
Instead, it's somehow more of a convenient system for you to print an actual code in an actual book and ship it to my actual closest game store for me to put into my phone to get access to the rules.
And the thing is too is like, I'm not saying stop printing battle tomes. You know what I mean? There are people out there, I won't name any names, but I may be pointing to myself right now, who, for like certain armies, like you can make it kind of more of a boutique experience, you know? Like you could just print special edition versions of each battle tome, and it's more of like this Baroque experience with like maps and, you know what I mean, lore, and you also get your rules, of course, you know what I mean. And then yeah, like I'll just like I'll buy that for Skaven. I'll totally buy that. I'll probably buy it for Seraphon and IDK, and that's it, you know. And then you probably charge me more money for it, and you're probably making the same amount of money off of me anyway, you know.
Yeah,
it's kind of a special thing.
I enjoy the special edition ones that come in the FOMO boxes.
Yep.
Like I still have the Slaves to Darkness one, the Cities of Sigmar one. I think I kept the Lumineth one as well. Like,
because the battle, they look pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice books.
They are.
But when you have to buy, like I think the most depressing one, I think it was probably Ogre's 3rd edition, where I just like went in and I bought it, and then I put the code in my app, and then I just like
I never
put it on the shelf and never looked at it again.
Yeah, that is brutal. Yeah, I've done that for sure as well. But every now and again, I'll still go back and I'll be like, I'm still gonna read it. You know, I read the lore and whatnot, see if they changed anything or added anything. If they included codes with card decks at that price, it would be an improvement. That's true. Yeah, that's another thing that they could do. Yeah.
Remember in 2nd edition, they used to just do like the e-battle tomes or whatever for way cheaper.
They actually started in 1st edition, the old Azir app. And like I can still boot it up and I can still open them up and read them. It's pretty cool. And they had everything. They had the lore as well, hey?
Yeah. It's just weird to me that like this is clear the new system is not easy for either party.
No, it's so bad.
There is a cost for them coming up with this code system and making sure that everything is unique and stamped in the books and like has a one-to-one association with like something that they're expecting on the app. Like, do you remember old games where you would buy like a physical game that had a CD and then like a CD key?
Yeah.
Like they stopped doing that like 20 years ago. Like, it stopped being convenient so long ago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know, man.
God help them if someone figures out a keygen for
I know
for AOS battle tomes.
I know. I mean, because like eventually that will be a thing because they'll be big enough where it'll be worth someone's while. You know?
Yeah. Could you imagine what kind of scandal that would be? Someone goes to put their code in and it was like, you know, predicted by some algorithm and then used by someone.
And you wouldn't even be able to see the violin I'd be playing. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'd just be like, oh, really? Oh, you know, oh, you could have just made an app. You could have just made an app. Subscribe to. Too bad, so sad. It's not like you didn't do that for the first 3 friggin' editions of this game. 3 separate apps. Anyway. Anyway, should we make some radar charts?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Okay.
Ragging on GW for another 45 minutes.
It's crazy because we love this company so much. And like, you know, we might even take some shit over it. But it's like, it's only because we love it. This is like our favorite thing. That's the only reason. So.
Warhammer fans are the worst. I can confirm.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to mark the time. Could you kind of explain? I'm going to try recording it, and then I'm going to try uploading these things. Oh, wait. First of all, we have to pick what army we're doing.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll pick the army first.
Right.
We said that we were going to do Cruel Boys, and I remember you saying that you were going to look more at your Cruel Boys battle tome. Did you do that?
No, definitely
All right,
not.
so we're not going to do Cruel Boys.
Okay.
So
Go
I
on.
think what can we do? We've done Ogres, Skaven, Stormcast, Slaves to Darkness, the Khorne AOR, but not Khorne itself, Iron Jaws, Nighthaunt, Tzeentch, Daughters of Cain, and Gitz.
Yep.
We could do Sons of Behemoth. We could do...
They're a relatively, simple one to do too.
Yep, pretty good understanding of them. OBR?
OBR, maybe? Fire Slayers.
Yep.
I had another one too.
We could do KO or Feck if we feel like.
Actually, that's what I was going to say. KO and Feck.
Yeah, it's just if we think that they're not going to really get touched that much by the battle scroll, but I think they've settled enough, I guess.
Probably. I could see Feck getting some changes.
Although, faction overview should be like irrespective of.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, level. Okay. Let's do KO first. Get warmed up. Okay. So
duplicate KO.
Domo arigato, Mr. Duplicato. Okay.
Okay, so to explain all of the different metrics that we use.
Here, one second. Can we add KO to the little blue thing?
Oh, someone's saying Seraphon and Sylvaneth in the chat too. Interesting.
I mean,
how about we do one of those two after KO?
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. So we'll do KO and then we'll do let's do Seraphon because I'm kind of up on them. Okay. I'm going to try recording this. There we go. Okay.
All right. So we have a 7-step process that we go through to determine what this radar chart looks like. So we've broken it down into 7 different metrics, which is killiness, which is just at base without your tool set. Mm-hmm. How likely is one of the hammers in your army to just like completely missed something else in another army? Yeah. And then likewise, tankiness is the flip side of that. If on average, like a standard hammer goes into one of your units, how likely is it to survive? Like any random unit kind of thing. Again, not factoring in your tool set. So this wouldn't count like spells with -1 to hit and wound and stuff like that, or it wouldn't count any sort of debuffs of the sort unless they're actually on the war scrolls.
Right.
That sort of thing. And then thematicness is just, how much do we think that the theme of the army has been translated into the rules that this army plays by? Ease of play is literally just, is this an easy army to pick up? Is it easy to master? That sort of thing. Your tool set is kind of everything I was alluding to before. So it's like, how does it modify your killiness and tankiness or mobility? How does it modify your threat projection?
Your blue deck capabilities, control.
Yeah, control, tech, like that kind of stuff.
Buffs, debuffs.
Yep, exactly. Mobility is just purely, it's really just like how fast do you go and do you have access to teleports?
Right.
And how much access to teleports do you have? And then power projection is how well can you ruin someone else's day without physically getting next to them? So this could be shooting, it could be spell damage, and it could be debuffs applied from afar type thing. Right. So for KO is a very killy army, I would say.
Yep.
One of the most killy. I don't know that it's quite as killy as like Ogres or Slaves to Darkness, but it's close.
It's damn close. Yeah.
I would say, because we rated those two a 5, I would say KO is like just barely one step down, so a 4.5 seems reasonable.
Okay.
Does that seem right to you?
I mean, if they're definitely number 3, I'm okay with saying that they're a 5. Like, how like we have like the rating system when we do the names where it's like this one's a 5-0 in my heart. This one's also a 5-0 in my heart, but this one's the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about integers that I'm not like, I can't say that they're not a 4.5. Like I don't have enough experience with the army to have too strong of opinion on it. They, you know, I think I'm happy with either way. I would probably lean towards saying that they're a 5, but I'll leave it up to you at the end of the day. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a 4.5 just because like it has the output, but it doesn't have the rend. That's
my
that's
big
great like difference, I think, and it doesn't have like mortal wound output a whole lot either. It has a decent amount, but not a huge amount.
Okay.
So I still think it's a 4.5. And then for tankiness, it's also quite high. However, KO they have good saves.
Yep.
But they don't necessarily have wound density. That's kind of always been the trade-off.
Okay.
Because if you take a pack of like Sky Wardens, for instance,
yep.
Sky Wardens super fast, 3-up save, they can be -1 to hit, all that other sort of stuff, but they're only 2 wounds apiece. So if you hit them with like a stray mortal wound or something like that,
yeah,
you're taking out a sixth of the unit's damage just with 2 mortal wounds,
right?
Which is pretty crazy. It's kind of like prosecutors, where
That's fair. Do they have access to wards?
In the Army of Renown, they do.
Okay.
But it's
okay. That
you wouldn't expect them normally to have them.
Also, generally we're not talking about Armies of Renown. We're talking about vanilla battle tomes mostly when we do this. Because it just changes things too much. Like Zogrok's Army of Renown. You know what I mean? It's like you could have like the whole army on a 5-up board. 3 up, 5 up, like the whole thing. Anyway, so. Interesting.
So I think KO probably gets tankiness in my mind of like a 4. Like it's not the most tanky army.
No.
But still pretty tough.
Pretty darn tough, yeah.
Especially when you think about like their boats being on a 2-up save.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be talked into 4.5, but I'll defer to you again.
I'm happy with a 4.5 as well, to be honest, if we want to say that.
Because like a 2-up is crazy.
Yeah.
That's so rare. Like Kragnos doesn't even have a 2-up anymore.
Yeah. The only thing is that once you get to like Von Grimm, then they're just like 4-ups. And I guess they can have a 6-up ward in a certain sub-faction, but like...
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
yeah, let's do 4.5.
Okay.
Let's do that.
We can kind of see where we... Yeah. Give a little thought.
Thematic.
Not really.
Yeah, not really. The theme of like KO is like a really weird army to design, I think. Just because it's always been
they had so much trouble designing this army.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is probably the best iteration of KO. Like it's felt the least janky to me. Because in the past you had like tons of weird stuff of everyone just riding around on boats and like not actually being on the battlefield, but shooting as if they were. And then the index one was like, oh, I could redeploy and reposition my whole army, and it was like super weird. And now this is very simple. It's just like, all right,
that's true.
Lightning fast, lots of damage, very tanky, low surface area,
lots of shooting.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. But does that make them thematic? Like what I'm hearing is that the rules are good and that they're maybe not too hard to play, but that doesn't make it thematic either though. Like thematic to me would be like weird rules, like because they're kind of like the rules lawyers within the universe of AOS. They're all about contracts and gold and ether gold, and you know what I mean. And so I feel like I don't know, they're not bad. Maybe average 3. Maybe a little worse than that. I don't know. For
maybe like a 2.5.
2.5.
Like
sure.
Just slightly below average thematic.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
They're interesting, but it's like I'm not super wowed by anything that they have.
No, it's not like Feck or something like that where you're just like, God dang, you guys were thinking about this, huh? Yeah, I like it.
Ease of play. So there's an argument to be made that when you have like crazy speed.
Yep, which we'll get to in a minute.
There's actually a certain skill expression in that. Like,
right. Yep. Yeah.
You can really shoot yourself in the foot with crazy speed by like
that's true.
Overextending.
That's
just
true.
Because you have the option to. Like, I can't be the only person who's rolled box cars on a charge where I only needed like a 6, and it changed the options of where I could go. And I'm like,
right.
my game plan was this, but now
Well,
I can wrap all the way around here and do that, and then it just completely ruins it. Like you're just like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but then there's also like that you can fly, and there's also that like, it's like if you get out of position with Iron Jaws, you know what I mean? You're just like, oh, I can't do the thing that I wanted to anymore because I didn't think 2 turns ahead that I would need to be here, and my guys are wicked slow. Where it's KO, it's like, oh, I forgot. Oh, but I just move like 12 inches, and I'll auto run him for, like to make it like 18 inches, and I'll just go on to that objective, even though I didn't think about it until right now. You know what I mean? So like, I hear what you're saying. Like, I think it's like a double-edged sword, like you said. But there's also like the fact that they're tanky, they're killy, and they move fast. And by the way, they also have power projection.
Yeah,
so
they're quite forgiving.
Yeah, I think in that regard they are. And by the way, this is all good. I forgot to say this at the start, but part of the whole idea of this is that we're trying to, if someone's looking into getting into these armies, the idea is that we are giving them kind of a guide on what to expect when they do it. So we're not, it's not about rules, it's not about balance, it's just to give them an expectation. When they're getting into it. So, I mean, this is a good thing. Ease of play being easier, right? It's a good thing. But definitely not the easiest in the game or anywhere near it. Probably.
Yeah, it's on the easier side for sure.
Right. 4?
I think a 4 is right.
Yeah.
I think that's where I was leaning to. Yeah. Then tool set. They have a lot of tools.
Yeah, they sure do.
They've got access to -1 to hit. They've got like ward shut off.
That's
They've
what I
got
was gonna say, yeah.
What's it called? Like crazy speed. They have access to fight first. They have access to like messing with your charges. They have access to
right.
Like
that's crazy.
OC debuffs as well. It's a big one too.
That's wild. That's not as common.
They have tons of movement shenanigans. It's one of the better tool sets.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
They've got a lot of really good stuff.
It's not the best, but like maybe top 5.
Yeah, and then so like examples of like the best tool set I think would be like Zincher Daughters of Cain.
Right.
And this is probably like one step below that again, so I'd be willing to say like a 4.5.
That's what I was leaning towards.
Yeah. Mobility also incredible. Like
maybe the best.
This might be a 5.
Yeah, I think this is a 5.
Yeah, this is
They're fast.
5.
They can do all sorts of they're just so fast.
Yep. And then power projection also really good.
Really, really good.
Yep.
Yeah. They can blast your ass off the table.
Yeah.
Not a lot of stuff other than that, other than maybe their terrain piece. I can't remember what that's doing. 2 separate OC denials, says Scotty.
Yep. They've got the what's it called? The auto engines is one of them, and then the second one is the Thunderers.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
I mean, is this some of the best power projection in the game?
It's pretty good. It's definitely really good.
What has better power projection?
Of anything that we've reviewed so far, so we gave Skaven a 5.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I got
which like, this might also just be a 5.
I think this is a 5 then. Like,
yeah,
like, wow, god dang. I didn't.
So
expect
this is
that.
where, yeah, like you might look at this chart and you might think like, wow, this army is overpowered, and you'd be right on release.
That's true.
You'd be absolutely correct.
Yeah.
The thing is that so there's a tricky thing about tankiness.
Yeah.
Where you can say that the wound density of an army is really good if they just make a unit ridiculously cheap.
Right.
Right. So tankiness is something that we kind of have to evaluate outside of the context of what points are at.
Right.
And the way
That's
that they're
true.
going to adjust KO is they're going to just
Right.
keep making them more and more expensive until you get less to put on the battlefield. Therefore, the tankiness is actually lower than a 4.5.
Right. So this is 4.5 right now, but probably going to be 4, in the future, right?
Yeah. So
Like,
the
why don't
the
we?
tough thing is,
I don't even mind saying there are 4 right now, because
yeah,
like we were kind of talking, we were going back and forth for that anyway.
yeah, where they're tanky, but Vanilla KO doesn't have access to a ward.
Right.
The boats are extremely tanky, but
Yeah.
Von Grim are not, right?
Right.
Sky Wardens are also not. Like, even if
Right.
you only have Ren 1, if you go into Sky Wardens, like a couple stray 1s and 2s are going to wipe the unit,
Right.
which is really tough to deal with. So, yeah, I think bringing it down to a 4 makes sense. So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
the thing is, like, this is a really well-rounded army.
Right.
However, it's just going to keep becoming more expensive. Spray.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way they'll balance it.
It's like Gitz or Soulblight last edition, where it's just going to get slowly worse. And that is the right call. Like, you don't want them to overcorrect and make them sort of unplayable for a time and have to go back on it. So, yeah, it is what it is. Razor says, my Dino list is a 5 on projection. I outshoot KO, no problem. We're talking about average lists. Like, it's like, you take the average stuff, and if you look at an average list, but like, Seraphon is not a particularly shooty army, but if you just take all, Bastillodon and Stegodons, you can actually have a pretty shooty army. But or Nighthaunt was the other example that we use. Like, if you just take only Pyregeist, then the army, it seems like it's like a shooting army, but in actual fact, most people aren't just taking Pyregeist. Yeah. Put KO as medium to elite. Look, it's too late to add an 8th. Yeah, we're trying to keep it like, originally we only had 5, and then we expanded out to 7, and I don't think we want to go any more than that.
Yeah, tankiness is kind of absorbed, like elite versus horde. But again, every rating system is going to have flaws, and the one with this is going to be that tankiness is kind of fluctuating based on current points. I guess killiness too. Like,
yeah, and like honestly, like, I feel like if we were going to add another category, we would probably separate shooting from like messing with people long range. But yeah, we had to call it somewhere,
Yeah.
But
all right. Then we wanted to do Seraphon next.
Okay, I will stop that recording. That way I can just upload it.
Nice, yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
I was waiting to answer after we finished that.
Oh, sure.
Not James said, unrelated, but do you guys have any army you wish you'd like to could get into but just can't connect with? Honestly, mine is Slaves to Darkness. Like,
yeah.
I've had a love-hate relationship, actually just a hate relationship with that army.
No, that's not true, because you had a good relationship with them hobby-wise.
Yeah, I do have a good relationship.
And you've got like a cool like lore background to your army.
But that army is so
It's the
boring.
army on paper that you should, like, it should be your, well, not your favorite. Ogres is your one true love for sure. You live in the meat dimension, for God's sake. You've got like a timeshare in like another part of the meat dimension. It's crazy. But having said that, like, I think Slaves of Darkness on paper should be your easily number 2. And then, but it's just a number 2 for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've always had the issue of like Slaves to Darkness is kind of they're treated as the generic like bad guy dudes in armor faction that just like waddles forward and punches people hard. But lore wise, like, I feel like Slaves to Darkness should play like what Khorne played like in 3rd edition, where it's like tricky, techie, like all of these little things where you're just like using the forces of chaos to manipulate the battlefield.
Interesting, yeah.
And still hit hard at the same time. Like, I wish that's what Slaves to Darkness was.
As long as there's no murder lust into combat, I'm probably okay with that. Yeah, that would be. I mean, like, ideally, I think it would be a chaos soup faction. So you would have access to Nurgly, tough stuff, access to very fast Slanesh stuff, access to very killy Khorne stuff, and access to magic manipulative Titsnitch stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that seems like the low hanging fruit. They probably were like that more in like second edition, I think, but I don't remember well enough to really comment. Yeah. But 9 lizards should be the average. Could just be a designer's note from you guys. This is based on an average list, which is... Yeah, I mean, I guess we could put that on there. Originally this was planned to be like just something where we just... It's just to give people an idea. But like, I don't know, I feel like it also goes a little bit without saying. Like, I hear what you're saying, James, and like maybe we could even we can talk about that right now if we want and add something like that. But it also kind of goes without saying, like to a certain extent. We're kind of adding that as like a commentary, because it's like every time you like talk about a rumor, you have to say take this with a grain of salt, even though like for God's sake, like people don't know at this point to take a rumor with a grain of salt. So like it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like how I feel a little bit about this, where it's like, you know, like if you do like a super skew list, like it's like, you know, I feel like people should know, you know, like in first edition with Skaven, like you could pop up with a bunch of warp fire throwers, but that's like a skew list, you know, by its very nature. But if you think about, and that was a very elite army, but it's like, okay, well, is Skaven like an elite army then? Like, no, it's not, you know. But in first edition AOS, if you took the Scryer Battalion, it literally was an elite army. You couldn't even take clan rats. The most unelite thing you could take was Globadiers, and they came in a unit of 5, right? So yeah, like, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but I also don't want to like have too much on here. I want to keep it kind of simple. But I don't know what Carson thinks.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to the same argument of like why we didn't add more metrics. It's tough. Yeah. There's so much. I mean, this comes up a lot when I'm talking about like how to be competitive in Age of Sigmar. Right. To anyone that asks too, is that I always have a really boring answer of it depends. Right. But that's because like every single situation is different, and even like these like arbitrary numbers that we're coming up with can and probably will be different next year.
Oh yeah,
based on like balance changes, right?
I mean, Scourge of Ghyran is going away. Yeah. This coming summer.
Yep. Wow, I mean, maybe they'll get looped in, but maybe they won't.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Exactly. But we were guaranteed a year with them. That's what we were told. And to be honest, they'll probably will change them, and there'll probably be new ones. But I hope if they're good, they just add them, because it's way better. But whatever, we'll see what happens. And again, James, or not James. What do I call you? Not James. We appreciate the feedback. We actually do take all this stuff, and you said it in a very nice way, which is great. But yeah, it's you know, it's simplicity versus, you know, it's all that jazz. Anyway, I'm gonna probably upload these clips separate. So can we explain again, just very simply at the start, sure, when we do the next one? Are we doing Sylvaneth? What did we say? Seraphon?
Seraphon.
Seraphon? Yeah. Hell yeah. I love some Seraphons. Toit. Do you want me to do it this time?
Sure. Do it.
Okay, we're doing another radar chart, and because I am intending to upload this, we've finally got this great idea to upload it. Thanks, shout outs to the people on our Discord for suggesting it. So we've been doing these radar charts, and the idea behind them is to give people an idea with your average army. Shout outs to James here. You know, if you're taking your average army, what they're going to look like. When you take them as, like, you know, when you're getting into an army, I want to get into Seraphon. Okay, well, this is kind of what to expect out of your average build, not a skew list, etc. So you got killiness. Pretty simple. How killy are they? How likely are they to just completely destroy something that maybe doesn't want to be killed? Tankiness, the inverse of that. How likely are they to survive against average to good output from the other end? How do they have access to wards, the average save, etc. Thematic, pretty simple. Like, how does it match? Does it feel like the army should? An example of something really good is the new FE Flesh Eater Courts tome. Very thematic. It feels like they should. Ease of play, pretty simple. How low is the floor? How high is the ceiling? Mostly how high or low is the floor? How easy are they to get into? How much brain power are you burning when you're playing them? Tool set is, how much can they mess with you, with your own army to buff them, debuff them, the other army, buff them, debuff them. Oh man, tool set it's both simple and complicated. It's hard to explain because there's just so many different kinds of tool sets, but you guys will probably get a good idea of what that means with Seraphon. Mobility, obviously, how fast are they? How much access do they have to teleports? And power projection is shooting, plus how much can they reach out and mess with people and ruin their day and kill them. So Seraphon, man, deep book. So this is going to be a little bit longer than the KO one that we just did. Killiness, they're pretty killy. And they have access to not only killy stuff, but like their access to the killiness of average stuff is not bad. You've got Kroxigor, which are some of the hardest killiest things in the game. Agrodon are quite killy. What else?
The new Scourge of Garand, the
the Carnosaur is very killy. Yeah, that hits that can hit like Kragnos. And the monstrous traits that we got from Scourge of Gyran are quite good in that department. A lot of spell damage too. Croak can, he's killy in his spell damage, but that's more power projection. So I guess that has to go back in the at the back of the line. But but they're certainly not slaves to darkness.
No, but they can table you for sure.
They can definitely table you. There's also a lot of non-killy stuff. So, you're averaging it out to a certain extent.
It's a pretty deep book, but I would say it's certainly killier than average. And definitely as an example, we gave Skaven like a 3.5.
Yeah.
And do you think that...
They're definitely killier than Skaven. On average, just because it's like you're probably taking Kroxigor, you're probably taking Agrodons, you're probably taking something. Even if you look at like, what are they called? The Raptidons? Like, they're pretty slappy for their points. And this is sort of outside of points, but they can kill stuff. Like Raptidons can kill stuff. I would say they're probably a 4,
I agree with that.
Yeah. Like, I was having trouble killing off with my Agrodons, Dan's, what are they called? The Knights? Barrow Knights, you know what I mean? But those things are hard to get rid of,
they're an anvil. And they have
they're
good
an
recursion.
Anvil. Exactly. That's it, right? And so then they ended up killing me just because it was like a losing battle, right? But but I quite like 4 for that. Tankiness, oh man, I don't know.
I think at face value, they're like pretty mediocre tanky.
Yeah.
There's ways that they become much tankier.
Yep.
But I would consider that part of their tool set because you're not going to get access to that. And that also depends on the battle plan.
Because it depends on your battle plan. It depends on your... Yeah, exactly. Because you're talking your constellation
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah,
Wetzel's pretzels.
Yeah. I haven't heard that before. Oh, man, that struck me so funny. I think 3 is probably right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Again, your tool set will elevate that quite a bit.
Exactly.
And the threat of your killiness can inherently make that kind of different too. But I think 3 is fair.
But when we're talking about like buffs and debuffs, we're not talking about your tankiness. We're talking about your tool set. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thematic. They're pretty thematic for an index. Like the whole constellation thing, great plan, picking stuff out ahead of time, figuring it out. It's pretty. It's like, again, we're talking specifically for an index, and when they get a new book, we'll have to make a whole new chart. But I mean, it's not for an index. We're not rating these things as indexes, but I would say 3.5 to maybe 4. You know, like they kind of feel like, yeah.
I think it's more of a 3.5 in my mind. Like it doesn't feel crazy thematic.
No, that's true. That's true.
It's hard for an index to feel very thematic, but
exactly.
I like the general idea of where they were going, and I have hopes for the battle tome. So
that's exactly how I feel. I would have said 3.5 as well. Ease of play. I don't find them that easy to play. Unless you're taking a skew build, you know. And again, we're not talking about skew builds. I don't find them. I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think that they're like an army where you're like, oh, you're brand new to the game and you're concerned about how easy they are to play. Oh, well, then you should pick Seraphon. I don't think that that's a thing. I think that they're probably I don't know. What do you think? I Yeah.
Like, if you don't leverage your tools well,
yeah,
they can be quite bad.
That's the thing.
And another problem is that Seraphon's quite a deep book.
It is.
And because it's a deep book, it's easy to make list building mistakes.
That's true.
So if you're not just like using someone's net list, or you're not like kind of using like the good stuff that everyone kind of comes to a consensus on, it can be hard to do well with them. And I'm trying to speak outside of the context of like how they are currently.
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, and like, even if you just look at like, you know, Eric is a very strong player, and he was kind of going like, I can't not play Seraphon if I intend to play them in tournament. Like I got to be practicing them regularly and remembering all my shit basically. Right. And so like, I don't know. I guess like 2.5 is where I'm thinking.
I think that's fair.
And they might be a 2. I'm not sure.
I don't think they're quite as hard as a 2. I would consider them like
2.5.
Incredibly complicated,
yeah,
but that's certainly not easy.
It's a lot to remember. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I guess it depends on how annoying your opponent is with like, you know, like, oh, you forgot in that phase, so I'm not letting you, you know. And it's like, well, I'm always gonna, you know, like I'm never gonna not pick a new constellation thing when I could have. Like, come on, you know what I mean? But like, you got to remember that at the start of the third battle round, and only then, you know. So anyway, yeah, I'm fine with 2.5 though. That was my original thing. Tool set, pretty damn good. Like even in the index, like
one of the few armies that has access to 2 spell lores.
Spell lores, yeah. And like they've got access to so many buffs and debuffs based on their battle traits, based on their spell lore, based on their terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have access to +1 to hit. I think.
Yeah.
+1 to wound. I think they have access to.
They used to, for sure, but
multiple sources of minus to rend. They have
and plus to rend.
Yep.
With the spell lore. Yeah, access to casting bonuses. They have weird tools where you can unbind from anywhere on the battlefield with the slans. Casting through other wizards like the skinks. They have access to buffing their own casting, which is pretty unique. They have access to ward shut off. They do have some access to wards. Yeah.
Multiple different sources of giving access to wards too. Like you have the Astrolith Bearer, you have your
the Starseer,
Toilet Skink,
and
then the
Skink. How dare you? He has a name. I mean, it's deep. It's deep as hell. It's not a Zeech though.
It's not a Zeech, but it's very good.
It's very good. I think
probably
it's got to be a
4.5.
4.5. Yeah.
Then mobility, you have access to really mobile stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have access to pretty slow stuff. Like if you're running one of the popular builds right now for teams is like a Saurus Warrior spam or Sunblood Pack spam.
Right. Where
That's
it's
not a
just
fast list.
slow. No, that's a slow
Yeah.
ass list. But then there's Ripperdactyls, there's Pterodons, there's Raptidons, there's
And then you got Shadow Sun
Terrawings.
Starhost. You have access to run and charge as well.
You have access to
teleports.
teleports in that is a battle formation. That is like a tool set thing.
Yeah.
But it is there, you know, even if it's in small amounts. I don't know. 3.5?
I was going to argue a 4.
Yeah.
Just because, like, but I guess the tool set is what is giving run and charge.
That's the thing.
But I think 3.5 is fair.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
Pretty fast. Yeah. Faster
And then
than
power
average.
projection, quite.
God. Yeah, pretty good.
It's good that they don't have
average
good shooting. I think.
That's the thing. Yeah, like on average, you probably don't have. You might have like one shooting thing. It's kind of like ogres, but then there is the reach out and ruin someone's day both through spell damage and, you know, yeah, there is the spell damage factor. There's also like a lot of little shooting. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff with like just javelins with like kind of crappy shooting. I don't know. 3.5 feels very right to me for this one particular thing, but I could see argument to 4.
I agree with 3.5.
Yeah,
And I think that number will fluctuate purely based on how dominant Croak is in the meta at that current moment.
Yeah, that's true. Croak and or what's it called? The laser beam dino.
The Bastiladon?
Yeah, because like when he goes down like a little
engine?
bit, it's like, and also there is like the rules too, like, you know what I mean? Like cover is very much a thing right now, which kind of saw the downfall of Croak and a lot of shooting in general. And you know, if they don't have that, like the thing with the KO boats is like you can go around and you can find other things to shoot at, but whereas like you're probably not going to have super mobile Bastiladons, so that like it takes it down a little bit for me, but like. Yeah, I don't know. I could see someone arguing against it, but like again, we're talking average army. You know, so the average person puts together the average list. How much power projection are you likely to see? A little more than average, I think, is the right answer. You know. Yeah.
Yep.
They do Razor for sure, but then there's also like cover, and also it's like. On average, how many Stegs and Bastiladons are you seeing in a non-skew list? Not that many. You know what I mean? Like, I don't usually have a Bastiladon in my list, but I try to if I can. You know, they've also got a great save on them, so like they have like they're kind of almost techie in a way. Sorry. Gets his exactly James. Or not James. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is there anything we want to go back and adjust like we did for KO?
I don't think so. This seems pretty reasonable to me.
I think so too. You know,
every time we finish one of these, I do wish we had an 8th category for like model count essentially, or like army size, whether it's a horde or elite sort of thing. Just because like
that's your totally original idea that
you know,
we've never heard that before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you know, you look at, I think it's just because I'm looking at what KO is and what Seraphon is, and I'm just like, oh my god, like KO is clearly the better choice. It's easier to play, it's killier, tankier, it has the same level of tool set, it has better mobility, better power projection. Why would I ever play Seraphon instead?
I think the answer to that is that most people don't pick armies based on these numbers. It's like,
yeah,
I think the average person is going like dinosaurs, riding dinosaurs with Aztec shit. Yeah, like basically like I'm probably just going to cover my eyes and get into this army no matter what. Whereas like, you know what I mean? Like, but then you've got people who are like, well, I'm on the fence about it. You know, what should I do? You know? And it's like,
yeah, and I think
because like I'm never going to get into KO because it's just not my aesthetic. You know what I mean? At all.
I guess it's more of like you shouldn't be comparing the scores of these individual armies so much so as like
Yeah.
using this to see like where an army leans.
Yeah,
So like if I were to click on like a random thing, like let's say Slaves to Darkness.
Right.
I'm considering getting into Slaves to Darkness. What I want to know about it. Okay. So if one of the things in my brain that I needed to have access to as a player was like, I really like shooting units, but I really like the aesthetic of Slaves to Darkness. They seem really cool. And then you look and you're like, oh, they don't have any power protection.
Right.
Despite being a 5 for killiness,
right.
I might decide not to get into them.
Exactly.
Right. So
exactly.
That's kind of the purpose of this,
yeah.
I guess, as opposed to like a comparison between them.
Yeah, because it's like, honestly, if it's like, if I only want to play dinosaurs, like, then you should just play dinosaurs. Like, if Seraphon is what's getting you into Age of Sigmar or whatever, just play them. Because it really doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day, the rules are going to change. But if you're like, well, I'm trying to decide between Iron Jaws and Seraphon, I really want to paint both, and I want an army that is tanky and easy to play. Okay, well, tankiness, Seraphon's average, and they're slightly worse than average for ease of play. And then we go over to, we find Iron Jaws. Okay, they are quite tanky, and ease of play is about the same. Well, I'll go with Iron Jaws then. You know what I mean? This is kind of what we're trying to do here when we make these things. And I realize that this is probably going to be in the video about Seraphon, but whatever.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Now you get to know.
Now you get to know. So, yeah, I mean, do we want to first, before we go on and start talking about other aspects of these things, is there anything that we want to change about Seraphon, or anything in the chat too, by the way, that people want to, bring up? I had a lot of fun with Ludivicus when we were doing Gits the other day. Yeah, like he just said, look, Gits by the numbers kind of sounds mid, but let me tell you, woo! I think I'm pronouncing that right. I love that comment very much. Actually, so okay, yeah. Does the chat have anything to say about Seraphon? Carson, do you have anything to say about Seraphon before I end the recording for ease of upload? Nope. Okay. I'll give the chat a second to think about it. But yeah, I think this is pretty much how I feel about them. And, if you're looking for, like, they're not that bad. Like, everything is slightly above the average other than ease of play, And
to me, that just says it's like when you make a list for Seraphon, it's going to be well balanced.
And I think that is absolutely true about Seraphon.
Yeah.
And they're one of the coolest looking armies in the game, so they're always going to be popular to a certain extent. And you want to like the popular armies because it means you're going to get more stuff from GW, and you know what I mean? They're not going to leave you high and dry. So, yeah. You feel like ease of play would be a 3? That's fair. I don't think we're too off the mark there. But we appreciate the feedback. You know what I mean? It's got dino DNA. I love that. Great Jurassic Park reference. Okay, I'm going to end the recording. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and like and do that other nonsense. We're going to make a chart eventually of like all these things to like a big page so people can just kind of find stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Okay, I've ended the recording.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for people who are participating too. We really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the rumor mega thread because it's too bright and that was hurting my eyes.
Making us look too white.
It's making us look, even whiter, which is really saying something. Pale bastards. The hardest to play, in my opinions, are the more skewed with the croak stuff. I think a lot of the skink stuff can be harder to play too. Like if you even look at Ripperdactyl's wrong, then they die to a fart. Rob's right. I saw Zeppelin skyboats with guns, and that is what I loved about them before I read one rule for them. That's the thing. Like, for like Iden Deepkin, before we even saw any numbers, I'm not kidding. I was like, underwater elves. We got like leaks that were in the Daughters of Cain rule book. That's how we knew that they were coming. And I said one of everything, and I got one of everything or more. You know, with eels and different things like that, right? Thralls and whatnot. Yeah, they're so cool, man. So yeah, that's how I feel. If there's anything that sets Saga of Dice in a league of their own, it's the interactivity with the chat and the nonsense. That's true. We do pride ourselves on the nonsense in particular. And then if there's time to interact, guys. Yeah. We'll do our best. Well, that's kind of what I always thought. Like, you know, when you watch, like, that's why I don't watch any of the big streamers, because, you know, the odds of actually interacting with them outside of paying them money, which feels, you know, like, obviously we're happy when people donate, by the way, but like you don't need to donate to interact with us. You know what I mean? That's just, which is probably a bad business model if we're being honest, but I'm just going to throw that out there. You really don't need to donate to interact with us, but we appreciate it. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels very plastic. It doesn't feel like a real reaction or interaction with them, with people. And so, you know, yeah, I tend to like some of the streams that, you know, like, it doesn't mean they're not popular, but like, when the chat is just going shoot, 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 like they're going pages at a time. Yeah, I don't know, but that's just how I feel. But we should do like a star chart, radar chart for our stream, and it's like interactivity. No, yeah, Killiness. Yeah.
Well, there was that one time we killed that guy behind the dumpster of your house, but
yeah, but that's like,
he deserved it.
But we're talking on an average day, Carson. So
yeah,
it's
so
still
I guess
got to be like a 2, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah.
Tankiness. Yeah. Also quite low. We're very thin-skinned. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, and it's been a while since there's been a dumpster behind my house too. You know, that was a kind of a weired.
Well, we had to get rid of it when we killed that guy.
Yeah, that's true. We did have to get rid of it. I mean, we just put him in there, and then actually
and just rolled it down the hill. Yeah.
Exactly. Getting it up to the top of the hill, though, that was quite difficult.
Yeah, it was really funny when I hit that Porsche, though.
Oh man, it went everywhere. That's actually how we got the rating system for the channel. You know, because we had to go through all the garbage. You know what I mean? So like, the unspoken thing is that, like, the reason why the bottom of the bin is so bad was because it smelled even worse than the dead body that was in there. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But like, yeah, the metrics would be what? Interaction with the chat, nonsense. It's its own metric. And then tech. We're not going to get a great score for tech.
No, it's bad. Yeah.
Should we make one right now? This is the most nonsensical Saga of Dice thing ever. But, you know, if you came here for this, right?
All right. Duplicate.
Yeah. Help us come up with things in the chat, please. Okay.
We'll keep 7 metrics because apparently that's what we want to do.
Yep. Okay. It's on the same thing, right? Oh, here we go. Saga of Dice. And then killiness. Yeah, I'd say about a 2.
About a 2. Tankiness also pretty low. We're pretty thin-skinned, as I said. 1.5.
Yeah. I'm getting more tanky, though. You know, the jujitsu's done me good.
Nonsense.
Although I'm more prone to injuries now.
Heck.
Sound quality. God dang it. That goes under tech. That has to go under tech. Because like the quality of the mics are good, right? Actually, no, that's true. Actually, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Interaction.
I also made another one, which
Discord. is actually, how about our ability to promote ourselves? Promotion.
I also added ability to make metric categories.
Very good. Very good. Power projection, that's what, our farts? I don't know.
5.
5 out of 5. Ability to promote.
Okay.
Okay.
Killiness 2, tankiness 1.5, nonsense definitely a 5. Tech 1.1.
1.1. You son of a bitch. We're definitely better than Games Workshop. I just want to promote.
1.2.
1.5. I will die on this.
1.5. Okay.
Interactivity. There's room for improvement there.
Yep. A 4.
4? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You guys should help us in this. 0.5 for tech. How dare you? That's not even like we've never given anything less than a 1. Okay. Ability to make magic category. I mean, 4.5 at least. We're one of the better ones out there.
We're killing it.
Yeah, we're killing it.
Actually, we're killing it so good. Killing is 2.5. Yeah. It just went up.
But our ability to promote ourselves has got to be like a 1, which tanks down our tankiness, I think, to a 1 as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Oof.
Yeah.
Or oof, as the French would say.
What the?
4.36 for interactivity? All right.
4.36.
But because we just factored that in, it's up to a 4.5 again.
It's back to a 4.5 because we just interacted with you to make that. That's true. Late reply, but I agree. Buy models you want. That's the start. We'll come back to that. Way better than GW sound. That's true. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
God. That
so
preview
bad.
stream.
Yeah.
It's so funny when they like went out for like 10, 15 minutes and then came back and it was worse.
Dude, it was like 15 to 20 minutes, remember? At one point you were like, it's been 15 minutes. And then they didn't come back right away. And then the sound was worse. It was like audibly worse than it was before. And then after like 5 minutes of like crazy bad audio, or however long, it might have been longer than that. Actually, I think it was longer than that. They go back to the old system of just not being able to hear them very well. Honestly, though, that was so much fun to me. Like I had more fun like watching their tech issues than I did, most other stuff.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. What is this shape? Is it a flower, Ludovicus? Where do you live? This is a flower. This is more like a discharge of some kind.
Oh Jesus. Oh man. I thought this was gonna be. I thought you were gonna say this is like a very small erection.
Perhaps.
Could be. Could
Yep.
be. Energy projection is that weird puppet Pokemon that pretends to look like Pikachu. I don't know what that means. I'm not a. We should have another category that's knowledge of Pokemon, which is going to be. Although it's an average between the both of us, so.
I don't have that great of a knowledge of Pokemon.
Okay, so it'd be terrible. I have. I have basically no knowledge. I know Pikachu.
Is it just ability to name all the Pokemon? Or is it just like knowledge of Pokemon as a concept? Like as a brand?
I think it would be a combination of both.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So the new 8th category, discharge. God. I didn't want to go with dead rabbit in fairness. Is there an 8th category? We broke the thing?
Yep. And then ability to.
Why are there 2 categories for discharge?
Consistent metric values. 6.
What happened to our beautiful star chart?
5 and 6. There we go.
Okay. Oh man.
What a lovely shape.
It's like a cartoon gun.
Or a rocket ship with parachute pants.
Oh, that old thing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. One of them. Yeah.
Rocket ships with parachute pants. Oh, man. Okay, wait. If ability to maintain consistent metric values is a 6, then nonsense has to be at least a 7.
No, because 5 is the max. Doesn't make any sense.
Then ability to maintain consistent metric values should also be a 5. Okay.
Well, for that one, it's a 6.
Yeah.
Just that one, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You were always right. Bump up the nonsense. Thank you. We are in the weeds. I agree.
Perfect.
It should look like the Corn Army of Renown metric.
It's just all 8s.
Yeah.
Except for mobility, I think.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Our nonsense should be at least a 7. No, now it's the original aerial mini. Oh, yeah. Perfection in pewter. The butterfly wings. Good stuff. Oh, man. I'm so glad we made that. Also that we kept killing us and tanking us for some reason.
Yeah. It's important to know.
That's true.
We're weaker than the average people. And also can't take a punch. Verbally or physically.
Especially verbally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very thin-skinned.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, does that end our nonsense for the evening? At least
I think so.
The portion that we're willing to put out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll upload these afterward. I'm not going to make a thumbnail though.
That's fine.
It's just stuff, for people that were asking for it. Dan Hibiki of streams, god dang. No one but me knows what a huge insult that is. He's a Street Fighter character that was based off of Fatal Fury. They were taking each other's characters, but they were kind of making fun of each other. So Dan's this joke character that they put in Street Fighter, and he's always the worst character. His fireball goes that far. He just shoots this little tiny fireball. He's like the character. He traditionally was always a really bad character that they put in the game. So it's if you are going up against people and you want to style on them, you play Dan and beat their ass with Dan. And yeah, a lot of great times. So I truly appreciated that comment, Riley. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. Ladivicus, as usual. All you guys, Riley, not James. I got to go back to the chat. I'm sorry if I miss anyone's. Scotty. Oh, man. Razor. A lot of great things. The Dino DNA comment was one of my favorites of the night. So thank you, my dice. And yeah, I'm going to miss people. But yeah, thanks to everyone for hanging out. Pat at the start of the stream. I have a personal Dan Hibiki piece of art from the Udon artist. Hell yeah, dude. That's sick. Udon's great. They make the comic books and the art, and they made animated movies and stuff like that. They actually have art books for Street Fighter. They made comic books that were really quite good, in the manga style. Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much to everyone for hanging out. We will see you guys next week, hopefully. And yeah. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.